I'm here at Open Academy, a first generation city academy based in the Heartsease area of Norwich. This area of Norwich, there is some of the more high density housing in Norfolk here, and it's fair to say that the community has had its fair degree of challenges. In partnership with the Church of England, we became a Christian Ethos Academy. Students who face some pretty challenging circumstances. There's plenty of poverty in this area. It's one of the poorer communities in Norwich. We serve a population of students that's around 40% pupil premium. We have over 600 students between 11 to 18, and over a third of them have special educational needs. We have typically faced the full range of challenges, and that's only been exacerbated by what happened during lockdown. We've got over 10 designated safeguarding leads because we have incidents almost on a daily basis. So I had a really challenging upbringing. A couple of times in care, ended up in care, and indeed ran away from care at 17 years old. In fact, ended up living rough in Norwich. I've been a head for about 15 years. I stepped down from my first headship after 6 years, and it was very, very challenging for me. I really struggled to a point at which, as I tried to get back on the horse, I developed anxiety disorder, stress and depression, and went to the doctors to get help. And unfortunately, over a couple of weeks, got incredibly ill on antidepressants. The Trust introduced us to Chris for a leadership support day, meditation in the Christian tradition, which I heard the word meditation and thought, oh yeah, my therapist used to go on about that. Examples that Chris gave as to why people meditate, that struck such a chord with me, because for my whole life I've been a worrier and I'm constantly on alert and on guard. And I know that's been quite challenging for people around me over the years, but as a head, I know that one of the skills that I've needed to develop is calmness. And this place was like a guitar string. Even I noticed how much under tension it was. And so I was already actively trying to work towards trying to get it to be a calmer day-to-day experience for everybody, staff and students.
I think it was lockdown when it was suggested, and I knew that Jon was practicing and he said really good things about it. And I thought I would like to have something to help me cope with work.
It is such a straightforward practice as well. I had all sorts of ideas about what meditation was or might be or what have you, and most of them mumbo jumbo. I didn't really notice any difference until one of my colleagues just happened in a conversation to say how amazing it was that I'd become so much calmer. It is amazing to see the change in you. You just seem so much happier and so much calmer. And I just spontaneously said to her, I think it's because I'm meditating. And as I said, I thought, yeah, I know it's because I'm meditating.
It was amazing. It changed my life, really. It's changed the way that I go about my day. I do it every morning. And I notice the difference if I don't do it. I like doing it by myself, I like doing it with others online, I like doing it in school with people. It just makes me feel better about myself, about how I am in school, how I can cope with the issues that come my way during the day.
You see a different side to people when you react different to them. If I've done it in the mornings, I'll be calmer, I'll be a lot more approachable. After I've done the meditation, I know I'm definitely different. Jon's very open and honest. He'll talk about his mental health and how the meditation has aided him. He's very calm, even under pressure. He'll always listen, he's always there. And the meditation has made a big deal of difference to Jon.
If Jon was the sort of leader that was frantic and argumentative and shouty and, very authoritative and very sort of like unapproachable, that would ripple down to all the staff and ultimately all the students. But his presence around the academy is very calm, very soothing for people, And we notice it when Jon's not in school because he is so calm and just a really comforting presence. You can talk to him about anything at any time. He never shows if he's stressed. And I think that's from meditation.
It feels like it's an individual selfish thing at first, but it isn't. We have a nice little meditating group here. It goes from a core of about 4 or 5 people who will come every time that I say that we're meditating to about 17 or 18 who will come sometimes. But what it does, I think, it gives people encouragement and the skills to be present. And when we're present for those around us, we really connect. What I see all the time is emotionally available adults calmly accepting what the child is bringing into the moment and waiting, listening, being present, ready for the child to start exploring what the real issue is in a way that you notice when you're here for any length of time. People will say, there's such a gentle, calm atmosphere here. So it's sort of rippling through the whole organisation, I think. We prize calm. A lot of the kids, their parents are working all hours, they've got all sorts of tough things going on at home. The kids become a little bit invisible sometimes. When they come across our staff who are emotionally available and actively listening and encouraging them to share their stories, they can really start to explore what's on their minds as well. So it flows right the way through the organisation.
In the role that I do, I'm surrounded by a lot of emotion from students. From anger to anxiety to grieving, and I feel if I'm not calm, I can't support them properly.
Jon is always an authoritative figure anyway, but he's been a lot more calmer. But because of my relationship with Jon as chaplain, I've watched him grow spiritually through it as well.
The spirituality's grown quite significantly. I'm much more open to the spiritual side of my life and my world now. When the chaplain Mark and I talked about a bit of scripture or a Bible story on Monday mornings, I feel like I'm much deeper into the understanding of it now. Why do bad things happen? I would have struggled to answer questions like that. Having spent so much time meditating in the Christian tradition, it's really obvious for me that God is the good within us. God is in me. I didn't get that before. That the Spirit is within all of us, but it's really easy to miss it. And I think that I can feel the Spirit within me so much more now.
The Bible talks about being still and know that I am God. And I think Jon's spirituality has grown through that stillness of meditation. The Spirit of God moving through his life has grown because of that stillness.
I don't necessarily practice a religion, so it's not something that goes hand in hand. This is something for you to do yourself for your own well-being. Anyone can do it wherever they are, but I think it's the knowledge. People don't realise how good it is for your mental health.
It fits all, and it's a very encouraging thing for everyone to do, because it doesn't matter what religion that you come from, or if you're of no faith, everybody in this world is searching for peace.
I can't imagine not meditating now.